Good morning, students. Today we are have a very good topic where we will discuss about the solar system. This is a topic related to astronomy, and it is a come parts of the physics. Now here we whatever we will going to discuss on the basis of the these topic, that is what is the introduction about this topic, and in introduction we will talk about the some celestial or kind of the object. What is that celestial kind of celestial object? After that we will discuss about uh, the different planets, and about its different from nature of the different planets. Also we will talk about the artificial satellite. We these major points, and also we one things which we will discuss here, what are the different constellation planet. We will talk about all these things within this chapter in detail. And there are the so many means so many there is a GIF type of the animated which I have shown in front of you, so that you can make more understanding about the topic. There are the in the solar system. Basically, this topic is a common topic which we you have read in class geography chapters, and in that geography chapters we have you have understand about the size and what the planets the characteristics of the different planets. We here we will have a same kind of the things, so that we can more understanding. But here we will talk about the most of the time what is the scientific benefit of the scientific, or the how we can observe scientifically what is the research which is going on in this related topic. It is a very good and interesting topic. To understand this topic we have to go through the solar system, and on the basis of this solar system, our astrology are also developed. So those who are interested to understand about the whole the astrology and their science behind their science, this topic is very essential to understand forever. Now here we are going to start the today's topic, and this we are starting this topic with the celestial object. As I already told that in the same cases, we will talk about the first we will talk about the what is celestial object. And as we know that here I want to give some brief introduction about the celestial object, why it is called the celestial object. There are the on the earth there is a different kind of the research are taken by the different researcher, or we call as a scientist. And these scientists the research done these research on the particular place, and that particular place is basically called as a laboratories. And in that why they do this kind of the activities at the laboratories, because all the availability related to the understanding all the facilities are available in these particular laboratories, where they do as per their requirement. But in case of the astrology, means astrophysics, these objects are basically so far away that cannot be feel in the laboratories. And these objects are basically required the very additional environment. So these additional environment which we require to understand the actual kind of the things, these are not available in the particular laboratory, and cannot done this kind of the research within the particular place, because it requires the huge environment, and these creating these environment is not possible in the laboratory. So the kind of the object which cannot be the research cannot be done in the laboratories, but somewhere it is we have to understand these kind of the things also. These objects are basically called as a celestial objects. And here it is written here in the things like star, planet, moons, which are present in space, are known as celestial bodies. A small brief introduction is given, but the right way is to understand that the kind of the object on which the research cannot done in the on the earth, because all the laboratories have that not cannot have that kind of the environment which required to do this kind of the research. So these are the basically called as a celestial object. Now here the something I want to explain so that you cannot confused about the different things which is mentioned here. Here we have started with the celestial body. After that, we directly come to the phases of moon, and these phases of moons are basically to understand why the phases of moons occurs, and types of the phases of moons we will have. This kind of the presentation we will have this kind of the understanding about with that this presentation. Now these we have already talked about what is celestial object, and as I already told, there are two things is required for any kind of the object which is on which the research can be done on the earth, that is the normal object. But if the research cannot be done on a particular laboratories because of the absence of the climatic or environmental conditions, so that these kind of the object is known as a celestial object. Now when we talk about the moon, there is the planet that is called the we will have here we will discuss only the phases of moon. The different this you can see here in the sky we have for a period of time we have observed this kind of the size of the moon for at a different period of the time. And these kind of the size of the moons which we can observe in the sky is basically known as the phases of moons. And called these now in case of there is a one condition, that one condition is basically known as a full moon day. What is that? Full moon day means it is the day on which full moon is visible at the one time when the complete moon we can observe on the in the sky, and that day is basically known as a full moon day. Now there is another moon that is called the new moon day. There is another kind of the moon that is called the new moon day. After full moon day, there is a moon appears to become a thinner and thinner. After whenever in a month there is a day when the full moon day occurs, and after the full moon days, there is a time when these moons appears to become a thinner and thinner. You can see here there is a this is the full moon day. After the full moon days, there is a moons appears thinner and thinner. This kind of the things happen. So on the fifth, and this kind of the days are started from 15th day, the moon is not visible on the, and that means if this process is taking place on the 15th day, the moon is not visible. And when this moon is not visible, that is called the new moon day. Now here, why does moon have a different phases? When we talk about the different phases, moon does not have its own light. As I we know that there is a in the planet there is a earth, and in between there is a sun, and there is a sun also. In between there is a the planet. And when the when the sunlight directly appears on the surface of the moon, then at that time the moon cannot be reflected. Now the moon does not have its own light, since we know that moons has not it is a non-luminous object, and so it is not the light which we observe in the moon is not its own. It is just a reflection of light by the earth, now which is responsible for, and because of this the various phases occurs. After new moon days, the visibility size of the illuminated part of moon seen from earth keeps increases, and after full moon, that means there is a two times by which we can understand the various phases of the moon. There is a one day, there is a one day when the full moons are observed, and after that full moons, this full moon continuously disappear, and at the end of the 15th day it does not appears. What happened after the new moon day, they again started, uh, and this illuminated uh, and increasing and keeps increases after full moon day. It means after key means moon seen from earth keeps increases. That means it continuously after the new moon day, it continuously increases. There are the two situation which is very which we you have to understand very clearly, that one part when the moons after full moon day, the moons are get disappear. That means the size of the moons are thinner and thinner, and there is a one point when the new moon's day comes, then the size of the moons are increases, and by this the moon phases are created. Now it is the phases of moon. Here we are just talking about the just talking about the what happened in the moon surface. In the moon surface, the moon surface is a dusty. Here there is a dust particle, and wherein there are the small pieces of the one, like sand type of the things, and has a many different size craters on it. There are that means we can understand here on the surface of moon there are the two three things. One is it looks like a dusty. Second one is there is some kind of the sand which is known as the barren. And third one is the there are the different kind of the craters, and these also it on the surface of the earth there is a big and a small mountains we can observe. And the moon has the most important things which we have to understand. There is a moon, and on the moon there is no atmosphere and waters, and because of this the life is rare on the surface of the moon. Now when we talk about the star, these are the objects which twinkle in the sky at night, and these are the object which is twinkle in the sky at night. These kind of the star is basically are illuminated object, and these illuminated object is its own object, and it is far from the sun. That's why when the lights are coming from so far, um, that looks like a twinkle on the earth. The sun is the nearest. The sun is the nearest star to our planet, and which is approximate 150 million kilometer away from the earth. So it is all about the star. We have talked about the moon surface. We have talked about the phases of moon. These things I have already talked. Now here you can see all the phases of moon situations. How this happens. Here there is a, you don't have to understand. This is the means a part of the geography, but you have to understand these period time in, there is a time period is mentioned here, when the after the full moon, you can see here, waxing, waning third quarter, waning crescent, new moon. These are the days. On these days you can observe what happened. There is a earth, there is a earth is revolving, and there is a sun, and this is the uh, reflection. When the sunlight goes to the appears on the surface of the earth, and because of that reflection you can observe all the reflection is shown here. With that, when this condition take place, the full moon take place, and when it is in front of, there is a new moon days occurs. So it is a very clearly you can see here how the phases of moons occurs. There is a waning crescent. That means when new moon days come, there is a waning crescent. First quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, then waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent. These things are happened here. Again, there is a all the planets are shown here. There is a planet like, and this is the just for a knowledge purpose I have shown here. You can just see that the name of the planet, and also how much kilometer from the sun you can observe from here. And there is a Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Saturn, there is a Uranus and Neptune. These are the planets which we have going to discuss here. Now, what we call it is a satellite. It is a satellite or moons. There are the these are the celestial bodies. Celestial bodies that orbit planets are dwarf planet. These kind of the celestial bodies are basically called as a dwarf planet. Asteroid. These are the another celestial object. We have a further discussion about these other celestial bodies, but small brief introduction which you can understand from here. That is, the asteroids are basically a rocky bodies smaller than the planets, and there is a orbit a star. And when we talk about the planets, that is called the comets. Comets is a masses of ice, dust and rocks move around a star in an elliptical orbit. There is a path uh, like egg. A kind of the path is basically elliptical orbit, and on this planet, on this area comet, the masses of ice, it looks like different kind of the ice pieces moving here and there. There is also dust and rocks particle are there, and moves around a star. And like a star, it is like a these comets are basically moves around a star in an elliptical orbit and gets closer to a star. Ice changes into gas whenever these since it these comets are basically move on the path of the elliptical path of the star. And whenever these comets nearby passes nearby star, at that time these crystals or ice gets changed into the gaseous. Now gas illuminated by the light of the star, that and these gas basically illuminated when this ice changes into the gas, then gas illuminated by the light of a star, and it looks like a tail. You can observe here uh, why these kind of the things happen. This is the basically other celestial objects. Now when we talk about the light year, there is another, this concept is given in your book, but in this point is uh, very crucial to, very important to understand. What do you mean by light year? It is basically, light year is nothing but it is a distance traveled by a light in 1 year. That much is the definition of this. That means whenever there is a light which travels in a um, uh, uh, which travels a particular distance in a 1 year, and that particular distance which covered by an light is called basically a light year. And it measure as it is the unit of measure large distance. So, and it is unit whenever the light year is basically a kind of the unit, because whenever we measure a large distance, like more than millions years ago, more than million year distance, then at that time this distance is expressed in the light year. Now when we talk about the speed of light is about 3 lakhs kilometer per second, and this we have to understand. And sometimes you have seen there is a um, there is a velocity of, or we can call as a speed of light mentioned in the 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second. If we talk about the meter per second, then it is considered in 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second. Whereas if we will talk about in lakhs, then it is a 3 lakhs kilometer per second. The distance of the sun from the earth may be said to be about, as it is a general knowledge, that this distance is from the the light which came from the come from the sun to the earth on the earth is basically it, it will take the 8 minutes 11 second to reach the on the earth. Now there is another kind of the things which we have to understand, that is called the pole star. And this pole star is basically, it is the star which is situated in the direction of earth axis, that means north axis. Here it is a north axis, and where these axes are situated, at that particular place there is a one star which twinkle at a particular place, and that is basically known as a pole star. And there are the different shapes that are formed by a group of star. And as I already told, that the star is more away from the earth surface on the from the sun. And if that number of the millions of the billions of the stars are present on the sky, and they are moving here and there, and there is a group of the star which form a particular shape, and these group of star which form a particular shape is basically called as a constellations. These are the important definition to understand. When these there are the number of the stars, and these stars are moving from in the sky, and when these stars are moving in a group and provide a particular is shape, mm, um, by organizing the different stars, and these organize different a group of star is basically known as a constellation. So it is all about the constellations. Now, what are the different constellations we are talking about? And these constellations are in which you have to understand, that is called the Ursa Major. These number one star is basically constellation is basically called as a Ursa Major, and how it is formed you can count here. There is a pattern in which there is a four star in a line, and there and three star in a rectangular, uh, means rectangular shape. And if you combine these kind of the things in they form a um, basically a Big Dipper and Great Bear. This is like the Great Bear. It is a structure of the Great Bear, and it looks like, since there is a seven stars, the one, two, three, four, five, six, and seven. So it is also called as a Saptarishi. Uh, Saptarishi. It is known as a Saptarishi. These seven. It looks like a big candle, a big ladle, or a question mark. You can observe here. This is a kind of the question mark, and in this kind of this situation, this is the part, and it looks like this. So it is it looks like a question mark, and this is basically your sum is so what you have to understand here, how many stars are in a group to form a Ursa Major, and how it looks like, what is the name of this shape, and how many stars in the handle, and how many stars in the bounce. So these points which you have to remember in your mind while explaining. Then second one is Orion. There is another constellation that is called Orion, and this constellation is basically well-known constellation, visible during the late evening in the winter. And this kind of the constellation is always there, but this constellation is basically visible at the time of the late evening in winter. Now, it also consists of the seven or eight bright star, in which you can observe here. There is a one, two, three, four, 5, 6, and 7. This is the and 8. This is the it this basically Orion is consist of the 7 or 8 star, whatever you can count here. There are the three middle star. We are talking about this three middle star, and in Orion represent the belt of the hunter. Like say, whenever there, if you have seen any hunter or any kind of the that is we call as a military person, they wear basically a belt, and these belts are the like a belts of the hunter. And the remaining four star, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4, these stars are arranged in the form of quadrilateral. You can see these are the figures of the quadrilateral. Orion is called the hunter because it looks like a hunter. And there is a also here it is you can also consider it is a bow, and here it is a there is a arrow. So it is called the hunter constellation. There is another constellation that is known as a Sirius, and this Sirius is basically a brightest star in the sky. If we talk about what do you mean by the write down the brief about the Sirius, then first point comes in mind that this is the brightest star in the sky, and these brightest star in the sky is located, there is a there is a Orion. We have considered in this, and the kind of the stars which is just provide the straight line um, to this Orion, then these kind of star is basically called as a Sirius, passing through the belt of three middle star of Orion. If these situations are created, then it is called the constellations. That is called a Sirius. Sirius is a number one point is Sirius is a basically a brightest star in the sky, number one. Number second is to understand what is the location of this Sirius, then whatever the group of the stars known as Orion, and when these group of stars provide the that is a straight line from the belt of the hunter, then the stars which provide the straight line to the belt on the hunter, that is called the Sirius. Now another that is the Cassiopeia, that is a Cassiopeia, and this Cassiopeia is basically another popular constellation in northern sky. This is a northern sky, you can see here, and it is visible. The time period is winter in the early part of the night, means when the nights are started in the winter, then this kind of the shapes can be clearly, then these kind of the shapes can be clearly observed, and the shape of this constellation is basically a distorted letter, that is either it is in the form of W, or it is in the form of W, or it is in the form of M. So it is a distorted M or distorted W form. So it is all about the constellations. We will have the next discussion, and we will talk about the solar system in the next class. So it is all about the today's topic. I hope you will be complete this very soon, and we will going to start the new things, that is called as a series of tests by which you can understand and what is your learning. So it is all about today's. We will have a next discussion about the further topic in the next class. Thank you for today.